The best lithium miners on the ASX are up between 28 and 70% over the last month, and this is in the context with the index being up 5% and lithium prices being flat. This is Finer Market Points, where we connect the leading market themes and top performing companies for better trading. You can like the video to support the channel, click subscribe for updates, and comment below to let us know which lithium miners you're trading. And when we're having a look at lithium miners on the ASX, we want to understand how it's been moving in the context of the commodity itself. So we will do that by having a look at what the share price or what the commodity price has done over the last month. We're bringing this on screen now, and you can see that the lithium price has been up or flat for the month. Flat, we should say. It has been up over the last 6 months, strong rise, but May and June have actually been flat, and you can see that on the table. It's flat, 0% gain over the last month, while the XJO, ASX 200, top 200 companies are up 5% over the last month. Now, when we're having a look at these price movements, we use that for context of these top 6 miners, and we get straight into them by starting off with Infinity Lithium. INF is their ticker. They're up 28.77% for the month, remembering that they had a dramatic drop throughout earlier in the year and a trading halt. So they have recovered some of that, and that's showing up as the gains in this month. Now, when we look at Infinity, we know that it's an Infinity Lithium Corporation, which was formerly Plymouth Minerals Limited. They're focused on the 75% ownership of their San Jose lithium project to produce battery-grade lithium hydroxide in Spain. You can see this here on the project as we have a look here on the map of how they plan on their video of how they plan to develop this site in San Jose, because they are looking to work into the European lithium-ion battery supply chain and electric vehicle industry. We've looked at this many times before, both on the US and the European front, as we surface the leading ASX listed miners with a European foothold and also a US foothold, because the two of them are working together from a Joe Biden perspective, talking about critical mineral resources in that supply chain, which we've also seen Elon Musk announce going out and acquiring or taking stakes in mining sites to shore up their supply chains. And we're seeing this on the European front as well, which Infinity is exposed to. That's Infinity Lithium taking up 6th place for the month. Now, when we move up to number 5, we see European Metal Holdings. Similar aspect with that theme to the European lithium project, EV markets, that we do know is being positive for the ASX listed miners with a foothold in the European movements. Similar pattern, good, strong movement for the last 6 to 9 months from the lithium aspect, has come down March, April, May, and a recent rise throughout the month of June. May to June, depending on when the company started. That's seen European metals have a 31% gain over the last month. Now, this company we know as being a lithium and tin miner in the Czech region. So this is in that foothold, in that supply chain that we have been looking at, very early stages for the project, but that is a dual listing for the UK as well. That's what we do see European Metal Holdings being a 31% gain for the month on that project that they're focusing on. And you do see that chart as they're moving from the $1.20 region over $1.60 and then being there just under the close on yesterday's market. Moving up to number 4, Liontown Resources, a company we've seen and surfaced many times before on the leading battery minerals companies and also the leading lithium companies on ASX. We have playlists for each of those, so you can see them on the links on screen at the moment or in the description below, or when you subscribe, you can see that on our homepage. Liontown Resources moving from 45 cents to over 70 cents just recently, closing under that, but over 65 cents on yesterday's close. 38% gain from Liontown Resources. The company we know as being lithium, vanadium, tantalum, gold, and other base metals and minerals exposures. They have projects in Western Australia and Africa. Their 100% owned lithium assets in the Kathleen Valley and Baldina are both located in Western Australian mining districts. So we do know that is their focus. You can see some pictures on screen of the drilling results, the drill rigs, and also what that project looks like over in Western Australia. That's what Liontown Resources are focusing on. The next one to look at is Sayona Mining. SYA is the ticker. We've seen this company numerous times as a leader of battery minerals and lithium miners. And there's a little question why when you have a look at this chart, moving from 1 cent, explosive movement to 5 cents, drifting back to 2.5, somewhat of a consolidation, still a massive gain to get to 4.5 cents, then dropping down, trading halt in May, and then shooting up to over 7 cents just recently. Now, what we want to do is have a look at the company's announcements, because that's critical to seeing how and why the share price has been moving the way that it has, and to get a 69% gain over the last month. Having a look at their recent announcements, we see the completion of the Piedmont investment in Sayona, Quebec. So this emerging lithium producer, Sayona Mining, has completed the final leg of its strategic partnership agreement with leading US-based lithium corporation Piedmont Lithium. Now, this is following the execution of the necessary agreements regarding Piedmont's investment in Sayona, Quebec Incorporated. Now, as they detailed in the company, what they've had is Piedmont subscribed for US $5 million worth of shares in Sayona, Quebec to acquire a 25% interest in Sayona's Canadian subsidiary. Now, that funding will help advance Sayona's growth plans in Quebec, including the company's flagship SYA Lithium project, the emerging Tanzanian Lithium project, and creation of the Lithium Hub in Quebec's Abitibi region, including the company's joint bid with Piedmont Lithium for North American Lithium, NAL, as it's been referred to in many previous announcements. Their MD, Brett Lynch, commented, "We welcome Piedmont's investment in Sayona, Quebec, and its support in our growth plans in Canada, including our joint bid for NAL, North American Lithium. The partnership is advancing the development plans of both companies as we work to develop the Abitibi Lithium Hub in Quebec, supplying the fast-growing North American battery market." Again, another company that's ASX listed, focusing on the supply constraints in US and Europe, who are both concerned over their critical minerals and shoring up their reserves to enable them to provide electric vehicles in the decades ahead. This has been a benefit for Sayona Mining, 69% gain over the month. Interestingly, we see the same gain from MTC. Metals Search being MTC, 69.31% gain, much less liquid company, lower market capitalization, moving from 12 cents to 24 cents in a bit more than a month. We know Metal Search is having gold and lithium exposure. Specifically from their lithium project, we know that they have the Kansas Lithium project in Canada. Once again, looking at the supply chain side of things on the US, the continent of America, and specifically the US West Coast, they do know there's massive mopping up there. We've seen Elon Musk buying up those mines. So we have seen announcements there, but definitely in the continent of America, this is where the exposure is. Now, Metal Search is exposed, 69.31% gains, and you can see on the chart that movement over the last month or so being quite dramatic. Now we move up to Critical Resources, CRR as a ticker, and we do see the 76% gain over the last month. This is a copper and gold miner with lithium projects as well. The lithium projects are in the Dominican Republic of Congo. So what we do see is that they do have the Kyoto project and the Canuna project, both of them lithium projects in the Dominican Republic of Congo. Now, these are both alongside ABZ's world-class Monono project. However, what they're working on here in these announcements and what you can see these projects here in the summaries are historical workings focused on tantalum mining. So this is without any modern exploration. Hardly an active lithium miner, but they do have exposure to lithium nonetheless, and their gold and copper projects also see announcements coming through. What is interesting is when we bring forward and have a look at the timeline of these announcements, noting here that the share price became explosive on the 19th of May. So that's when the share price shot up. You can see down the bottom, massive volume, 19th of May, and the share price starts moving from 1.5 cents over 1.8 and then quickly rising over 2.7 cents. That date, once again, is the 18th of May. Looking over here, we see the news announcement on the 20th of May is in response to the ASX's speeding ticket, share price and volume query, a speeding ticket. Now, this is 2 days after it shot up. So what we've seen here is that obviously somebody's in the know, something's happening behind the scenes. A lot of shares are being acquired and not a lot of news is coming to market, hence why the ASX sends a speeding ticket. We look at the other announcements that follow. See a week later, the chairman's address to shareholders, results of meeting on the same day, and then we've got the change of company name a few days later. Obviously, a lot happening behind the scenes. They do have an announcement on the 2nd of June, and they're looking at likely massive sulfide targets and then appointment of CEO about a week later. Looking at the 2nd of June for the announcement of these likely massive sulfide targets. That is the 2nd of June when that's announced. And then you can see that the share price peaked on the 31st of May, 2 days earlier. And then by the 2nd of June, when the news had been announced to the rest of the market, share price is falling from highs of 3.8 cents And then by the 2nd of June, the close, it's closing down at 3.2 cents and then keeps falling under 3 cents, under 2.7 cents. Quite interesting when the news flow does not coincide with the share price movements. This is a buy the rumour, sell the fact aspect, and it is no surprise that we did see speeding tickets from the ASX asking for responses of what's happening with the share price and the volume. There we go. They're the top 6 lithium miners on the ASX over the last month. Again, like the video to support the channel, click subscribe for updates and comment below to let us know which lithium miners you're trading.